Aloha and welcome to episode 5 of the Hawaii Crypto Podcast. My name is Chuggy and I'll be your host. Today we'll be talking about the SNL appearance and what effects it may have on the market, the volatility that's more or less coming up no matter what, and kind of the price fluctuations that we've been seeing day to day. As always, make sure to like and subscribe if you're a fan of our content. I'm not a licensed financial professional. Nothing I say should be taken as financial advice. This podcast is purely for entertainment purposes, and please consult with a financial professional for your financial advice. So today, I put the price down as at 68.8. That's kind of the price that it started the day with Hawaii time. Since then, it's slid down to about 64 cents, and it's been stabilizing in this like 64 to 66 cent range. I know there's a lot of murmur, surrounding the SNL taping, and we'll see what effect it has on the price, if anything, come tonight. Actually, it's in Eastern Standard Time, so it should be airing in a couple of hours now. Usually, we film these in the evening to have a full day's worth of information ahead of us, but today we're gonna do something before the show, and then we'll probably record something after the show to kind of take a look at anything that happened. Uh, Next thing is, this is more of like something for everybody to think about. There's been a lot of headlines and a lot of news kind of warning people about Dogecoin being in a bubble, and that now it's priming Bitcoin for a breakout, and this, that, and the other. In my opinion, a lot of the those that hit the headlines are from people who have a huge stake in one thing or another, and they're in it for the financial gain and not really interested in the overall health of something long term. Especially when you see hedge fund or hedge fund managers talking about it, that's just you know it just goes to show that these guys are making moves, hoping to influence the market, to make themselves and their clients rich. So, take it with a grain of salt when you read things. There was a hedge fund that announced that they had uh, taken their Dogecoin and put it back into Bitcoin, saying that it's time for Bitcoin to break out next. Now, is this going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Who knows? But they had said that they use FTX, which is the exchange that I use, to kind of watch the order flow and the order books. And we did see a whale over the past day and a half, making pretty big moves in the market. But the demand was also eating it up straight away, so it wasn't dipping the price too bad. So, you know, these types of big public statements that these guys make are really meant to affect the market to increase the size of their holdings or the value of their holdings in the short term. So, I would say be cautious with what you read and kind of take things in on a large level where if the signals are that a lot of people are starting to reposition their holdings into, say, Ethereum, which had a really big day so far today, um, or even Bitcoin. Take use that to inform kind of your decision making. The other thing is, we can talk briefly about kind of crypto arbitrage, right? And this is something that I've done a few times now, where Bitcoin will, with its rise to 63,000, I took my holdings there and swapped it into Doge. And that did me very well because Bitcoin fell a little bit during that time. It's still not back up to 63,000. And Dogecoin has gone up since then quite a bit. So this arbitrage that you can do kind of back and forth between coins is a valid avenue for increasing your holding or lowering your risk. If you think something is going to stagnate, go down, or go up, you kind of you change your percentages for everything to what you think makes sense or where you think the market for each of the coins is going. Next thing is, I would say this is a good time now that things are starting to chill out a little bit in the last 24 hours to really think about the reasons you purchased some of the cryptocurrency, right? If you're in it for the long haul, then I think those people have the easiest decisions to make. because you're not hitting the sell button anytime soon anyway, right? For those that are looking to do make some short-term gains, or they've made a life-changing amount of money, right? If there's something that you need to cover expenses, rent, doctor's bills, medical things, uh, on the subreddit there's a lot of people who have dogs that need surgery, right? Like there's all these things that, they're like, hey, been a part of the community, but I think this is, what's really important to me right now, and can't blame them for making those big decisions in their lives. But for those of you out there that have the means to just let it ride, see where it goes, you always have the luxury of riding out short-term volatility, no matter which way it goes, right? Just because if you are pretty bullish on crypto in general, right, then you just hold, and then once it, you reassess kind of at every period of time that you think makes sense. But for those of you who are maybe a lot more leveraged, where you need to dip into this to pay for certain things, like, I would say now's a good time to be really careful. um, there's going to be a period of high volatility because not only has Dogecoin kind of captured the national or international attention in the past couple of months, but cryptocurrency as a whole, right? Especially with what looks like further restrictions in the United States, at least on cryptocurrencies, that will kind of modify people's holdings, whether they be stocks, bonds, securities, whether it be crypto, whether it be real estate and whatnot. So I would say, if you are someone who is pretty leveraged in this space, to be really careful. If you need to take gains and get out, like that's probably the most conservative, safest thing to do, because losing money because of volatility, and you get yourself into a spot where it's really difficult uh, to make ends meet. You don't ever want to put yourself in that position. So I would say just be smart. You know, um, I know people learn this the hard way the first time that Bitcoin jumped, and then people YOLO'd their life savings into it, and some of them lost all of it because they were forced to liquidate when Bitcoin had lost like 30% or 40%. Um, and you can't really let people make that mistake again, um, knowing that that already happened once before. Same thing with GameStop and AMC. Like, we saw people YOLO ridiculous amounts of money and over leverage themselves. And don't get yourself into that situation. Like, it's definitely not worth it, no matter how much upside. So, other than that, I can't wait to see SNL. I'll probably be out and about when it goes live. I'll be watching the SNL YouTube channel to see when it gets uploaded, and probably watch it there. So I hope everything goes well on that front. Elon's obviously an engineer, so I don't expect him to be incredibly funny or anything, but I hope it's a good showing. I hope it's entertaining. And I hope everybody has a good rest of their Saturday. So until next time, we'll do a post SNL update sometime tomorrow. If you have any questions, as always, leave it in the comments below, and I'll make sure to get to it. Other than that, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.